Hey, 8th graders, thank you for serving as an usher at St. Paul Lutheran Church. You represent our church by greeting and helping people who come to worship. I'm here to share some things for you to remember and consider as you prepare to usher at St. Paul. The first one happens at home when you get dressed for church, is dressing appropriately and modestly. Like anything, we want to give God our best, and as you represent our church, I ask that you would choose clothing that is comfortable yet has a sort of professional appearance. We ask that you don't wear any sweatpants, clothes with holes in them, printed t-shirts, nothing too tight, nothing too loose, those sorts of things. For gentlemen, for guys, for example, a button-up shirt or a polo would work well, and maybe a pair of dress pants or khakis, or even if you serve Thursday night on informal worship, a nice pair of jeans would be fine. For the ladies, girls, a blouse or a dress would be lovely. Dress pants, khakis, a skirt or dress. Please no low-cut tops or too short of skirts. For all of our attire as ushers, we want to help connect people to Christ, and we don't want to be a distraction. Before you usher as well, please register. You can register online for a time to serve. You can pick whatever dates work best for you, and follow the instructions on the online form regarding how many times you should sign up. When you arrive, as you plan to make your way to St. Paul, please arrive no later than 15 minutes before the service starts. That way you can connect with the usher captain and determine any duties that you're responsible for as an usher. I ask that you would stop by the usher room, get your name tag from the usher room, and you can connect with your usher captain nearby to see if there's anything special happening in the service or what duties you can perform during that worship service. If you're passing out the weekly news or bulletins or even the children's bulletins, there's usually stacks in the usher room, or sometimes on the offering tables there's stacks of the children's bulletins there. One of the most important things about being an usher is greeting people and being joyful. People coming to church are going through all different walks of life and different things, and you might be the first face they see when they come into church. So smile, be warm, be friendly. If someone is maybe looking around or possibly looks lost, you could ask if you could help them. Maybe they're just looking for the restroom, so you can point that out to them. But be friendly and joyful as you welcome people to St. Paul. After that, as the service starts to begin and people find their seats, you can help count members if that's something you're tasked with. You can use the clickers that are found in the usher room and help count the people that are attending for worship in that service. During that time, it's also a good time to sign in for attendance purposes for worship, since usually the time people sign in is during the offering, and you might be bringing up the offering towards the altar during that time, so you can record your attendance during that time. If there's communion on the service that you're serving, check with the usher captains and the other ushers to see how your role fits into distributing for communion. Lately we've been distributing against the walls first and then on the inner aisle, so check with your usher captain if you're not sure, or just maybe refresh your duties for dismissing for communion. After that, another usher responsibility is bringing the offering forward to the altar, and that happens after the prayers and the Lord's Prayer. So as you hear the Lord's Prayer, you can kind of think in your mind that the offering is coming, so if you're tasked with that responsibility, you can bring it forward. If you're just collecting the plates, you just grab the plates from the offering tables and combine them in the middle aisles, and then whichever ushers are tasked can go forward towards the altar with those offerings. Through the sermon and through the closing of the service, another usher task is to clean the pews. All you have to do is just scan through and look to see if there's any items or possessions left behind, or you can even see if there's bulletins, weekly news, any papers that are left behind. Please pick those up. That's a great help, especially if there's a next service coming. Helps tidy up the area for the next people coming in. If there's a possession or item that's left behind, there is a lost and found bin near the main entrance in the coat room. If there's any papers left behind that are to be discarded, I ask that you would recycle them. There's a sort of recycle laundry bin in the usher room that you can place those weekly news and bulletins in if they're to be discarded. Finally, I'd encourage you, as you're serving in the worship, to be attentive. You are serving this congregation and serving others, so be attentive during the service. It's okay to catch up with the ushers and talk or maybe relax for a minute, but I encourage you to still participate in worship as well. Sing the songs, read the creeds, be a part of prayer and confession, and listen to the sermon. But also as you do that, maybe be scanning the congregation, see if there's any needs that arise or someone that needs help during that service. And once again, I thank you so much for serving in worship ministry as an usher, and I pray that God would bless you as you serve, and that you would find joy in the responsibilities that ushering has to offer you as St. Paul Lutheran Church. Thanks, and God bless.